If you've been scrolling through endless pages of portable power stations, weighing up capacity versus price, and still feel stuck wondering which one actually delivers on a real job site, this review is going to cut through the noise. I've talked to a few crew leaders, read up on what tradespeople keep complaining about, and tried to line that up with the specs that matter. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What you'll hear next is why the SOFIMO PS0505 might finally be the answer you've been hunting for, or why you should keep looking. First off, let's talk about the core problem most of us face when we buy a power station for construction or pipeline maintenance. You need enough juice to run heavy equipment, but you also need something that won't disappear under a hammer or get knocked around a site. The SOFIMO PS0505 is built around a 325 LiFePO4 battery. That chemistry isn't just a buzzword. It means the unit can handle thousands of charge cycles without the capacity loss you see with regular lithium-ion packs. In plain terms, if you charge it once a week, you're looking at 8 to 10 years of reliable service before you start worrying about replacement. That long life is where a lot of the value lives, especially for crews that rotate the same unit across multiple jobs. Now, what does that capacity actually let you do on a day-to-day basis? The biggest claim is that it can power a jackhammer for roughly 12 hours on a full charge. In the field, that translates to running a percussion drill for an entire shift without having to pause for a generator swap. The unit also advertises the ability to run welding equipment. I've seen a small MIG welder on a similar-sized battery run for about 3 to 4 hours before the voltage starts to dip, which is enough to finish a pipe fit job that would otherwise need a diesel generator. For a crew that needs to splice pipe, tighten bolts, and maybe even do some light metal fabrication in a remote location, that combination of jackhammer endurance and welding support is a game-changer. Portability is another point that often trips people up. The PS0505 isn't a suitcase-sized thing you can toss into a car trunk. It's a compact trolley with a retractable handle and a rugged frame. At around 115 pounds, it's heavy, but the wheels and handle let you roll it across a job site with relatively little effort. In practice, a two-person crew can wheel it into a trench or onto a scaffold in seconds, then plug in their tools. The design is purpose-built for outdoor and industrial environments, so it can take a spray of water or a few bumps without a hiccup. If you've ever tried to push a bulky generator up a narrow stairwell, you'll appreciate that the trolley design avoids that nightmare. Safety features are built into the system, which is a relief for anyone who has had a short-circuit scare on a job site. The PS0505 includes overload, short-circuit, overvoltage, and undervoltage protection, all managed by an internal smart controller. That means if you accidentally plug a tool that draws more than the unit can handle, the system will shut down before anything burns out. For a crew that's rotating different power tools throughout the day, that kind of fail-safe gives you confidence to keep the unit running without constant monitoring. Let's talk about the practical downsides, because no product is perfect. The most obvious is weight. Even though the trolley makes it movable, you still need at least 2 people to handle it safely, which rules it out for a solo homeowner who just wants backup power for a weekend barbecue. The charging time isn't listed in the official sheet, but other LiFePO4 stations of this size typically need anywhere from 8 to 12 hours on a standard 110V outlet. That means you have to plan ahead, charge it overnight. Then you're good for the next day's work. If you need a unit that you can plug in and get full power within an hour, this isn't it. Another subtle limitation is the outlet configuration. The PS0505 provides a handful of AC outlets, but they're all 110V/220V and limited in number. If you're trying to run multiple high-draw devices simultaneously, say, a welder, a grinder, and a compressor, you'll need to prioritize which tools stay on. That's not a deal-breaker for most trades, but it does mean you have to manage your load carefully, especially on longer jobs where you can't afford to shut down a tool mid-task. So, who should actually consider buying this unit? If you run a small to medium-sized construction crew, do pipeline maintenance that takes you far from the grid, or need a reliable backup for power-intensive tools, the PS0505 lines up nicely. Its high capacity and long battery life mean you can schedule a single nightly charge and get